What would you do if you knew for a fact that you couldn't fail? How would you approach your days if you knew that one day success was guaranteed? Probably a lot differently than you approach your days right now. There's only one reason that you can't stick to the habits that will serve you. And today, we're going to get rid of that reason. I'm going to share with you practical tips that have not only helped me improve as a player, but also see much success with me playing football. These were some of the things that got me trialing for 3 different semi-pro clubs in 3 months. If you ever tried to build a habit that sticks, chances are you did it wrong and that's why it never stuck in the first place. But most people do it wrong anyway. They think that they need to start all the habits at once, otherwise they're just wasting their time because they won't become the person that they want to become. Players love the idea of overnight success, not realizing that most overnight success takes about 10 years. They're constantly chasing the next fancy skill and listening to YouTubers out there who give never before heard advice. And you know what? I don't blame you for it, because I used to be that player too. I used to go to the gym and do the hardest exercises thinking that it would make me stronger faster. I used to chase after the fancy skills thinking that it would make me a better footballer overnight. But like Alex Hermosi once said, it's not a magical list that no one talks about, it's just an obvious list that no one does. Or something along those lines. The point is, going to the gym tomorrow for 9 hours isn't going to make you the player that you want to become. But going to the gym for 45 minutes every day over the next 9 months, that is going to make you see progress. So if you want to break your bad habits, you have to replace them with habits that are stupidly small. Instead of going full Ronaldo mode and training 3 hours a day for 2 weeks straight, train for 30 to 45 minutes over the next 2 weeks and see how you feel. If you do have the time to add on more training hours, then do that. I even did a 16-minute technical session the other day. 16 minutes. Was it great? No, but did it count? Heck yeah. And then the next day, I did a 60-minute session. You just want to have proof that your brain can rely on. You want to build the belief that you are able to do the thing even if it's not for very long, because then you can add on it and make it longer over time. Now you can laugh at me for the 16-minute technical session, but there's another very important reason why I did it. On the surface, it might sound stupid. You collect your gear, you walk to the field, you lace your boots, all of that for just 16 minutes of juggling. But this is what most players won't understand, and that's why they never make it to the level of the pros. There's a reason that Ronaldo has been spotted at 2 a.m. in the gym to do a recovery session after a full game. He understands that these little things, when done right and done consistently, makes him the player that he is. To me, those 16 minutes were my way of showing myself that I would get the work done as long as I could. I was solidifying the person that I wanted to become. I want to become a pro footballer, and what would a pro footballer do? They would get the work done regardless, whenever they could. It was less about getting the work done and more so about building the identity of the person that I wanted to become. In order to become the version of yourself that you desire, you first have to live that life without the luxuries. That will build the character required to keep the career and the perks once you have it. And here's another reason that I did it. If I didn't do it, who am I to tell you to do it? Now, the thing with consistency is that life gets in the way. There will come a point where you will have to miss a training session of 2. That is just how it is. It happens with everyone. It's happened with me too. Over the last few weeks, it has been really difficult to get my sprint sessions in because of the heavy downpour, and the field that I usually train on turns into a swimming pool whenever there is a downpour. So I've been trying my best to get my sprint sessions in either on the road or on the cement. So yes, things do get rough sometimes. That's just life's way of testing what you're made of. But I found a way to not let go of all of your efforts despite being kicked in the nuts. See, I used to be the player that cared about perfection. Everything that I did or every training session that I carried out had to be done at 100%. But that has only come back to bite me. Because if I didn't get the training session in the way I wanted to, or if I couldn't do it at the place that I wanted to, I would stress about it. It would annoy me and I would feel like I was falling behind. The solution that I have found to this is that instead of aiming for your sessions to be 100%, aim for it to be 80%. If you wanted to run on the track but you couldn't, running on the field or on the road also counts. If you wanted to do a 60-minute session and you couldn't, a 50-minute session also counts. If you wanted to get 10 hours of training in that week but you weren't able to do that, 8 hours also counts. And over the next 14 days, use the knowledge in this video and just aim for an 80% success rate. Once you do that, you can either add another training session or increase the duration of a session, and your 80% would automatically go up. And yes, becoming the player you want will take time. But if you constantly look for short term solutions, you will end up with long term problems. So play the long game from the very beginning. Thank you for watching. I hope you've gained something valuable from this video.